Hola, Namaste. It's Ali here, and today we're going to explore equanimity here on the beach in Playa Guiones, Nosara, Costa Rica. And we just finished leading our week-long yoga retreat here. And I'm really excited to dive into this practice today. Equanimity, really, I think of as one of the most amazing or vital skills that comes out of a meditation practice. So we'll talk about it today as a skill, but also as a state or an experience. As with most skills that we cultivate in meditation, eventually it becomes a state of being or an experience that we have. So equanimity, what does it mean? You can think of it as sort of a state of non-grasping or non-clinging, sort of like in the yogic tradition of the yamas and the niyamas, the roots of the Ashtanga yoga practice. We have non-grasping or aparigraha. So not reaching, but also not avoiding. So it's this state of not grasping for anything, but also not pushing anything away. And some people actually refer to this state as the sort of a witness consciousness. So there's a non-judgmental awareness that can kind of perceive what's happening. So how we build this skill is we start to really notice where we're tensing, where we're sort of tensing around things in life. And then we start to build the skill of actually melting around those things. So where are we tensing against life or bracing up against life, and then melting around that, which gradually leads to just sort of more global equanimous state around life. So sometimes I like to describe of it as almost like you can become that calm in the center of the storm, like the eye of the storm. So there can be this sort of storm or chaos of life happening and moving through, but yet there's this state of, there's actually a calmness or a non-grasping sort of quality of open, available, present energy that's a sort of a, you can think of it almost as a sort of surrendering. So it's not the same as detachment. I just want to make that very clear, because in a lot of the meditation traditions we talk about these near enemies. So the near enemy of equanimity or surrender can be detachment. So that's not what we're talking about here. This is more of a state of equanimity where reactions, our habitual reactions, can start to move through us without us getting as entangled into them or getting sucked into them. So I hope that makes sense. And what happens over time is, with practice, as with all practices, once you build the momentum, once the momentum is started to build of equanimity in yourself, it starts to sort of happen automatically. So there's this practice that begins to pick up automatically and picks us up and sort of starts to move us along. So I'd love to do a practice with you guys. So let's find a comfortable seated position. And one of my teachers that teaches so beautifully on equanimity is Jeff Warren. So I'm going to lead a couple of, or at least one practice that I learned from him throughout today. So just taking a moment to find that comfortable seat. Closing down through the eyes when you're ready. Begin to soften the face, the jaw. And as you inhale, find a quality of integrity in your seat, so there might be a lengthening of the spine on the inhalation. You're sort of relaxing outward or relaxing open on the exhalation. And you're starting by becoming present with your breath. And for today's meditation, if your palms are facing down, just flipping them gently to face the sky and just relaxing through the fingers, the thumbs. And as you inhale, to sense that quality of uprightness. There's sort of a melting or relaxing downward of the shoulders, the jaw. And beginning to open the senses. So you might start by noticing light beyond your eyelids. Maybe the air inside the nose or the aromas that might be present. You might even move your tongue in the mouth around the teeth and noticing any quality of taste that might be there in the fluid in the mouth. Sensing the ears, listening, the quality of receptivity so naturally abides here in the ears. And you might sense the whole body globally now. Both the head and the torso, the movement of breath, the limbs, maybe the earth beneath your body, maybe the touch of air on the skin. The clothes that are touching the skin. Notice if you can sense a sort of dropping in or a relaxing open into this quality of awareness that is present and open. And for the next few breaths, just sensing or welcoming that openness, which you might welcome as a sort of frictionless ease. Just allowing everything to be as it is. And as you notice your breath, begin to imagine that you're standing here in a nice warm shower. Your body's just basking here in the warmth and the cleansing energy of the water. And there's a quality of ease and nourishment to the warmth. And you're just feeling that sensation on the back of your body, the back of the head, upper back. And see if you can maintain that steady, easeful breath. And just imagining now that the hot water has run out and suddenly the shower is frigid cold. You're just standing there, and notice if there's any tendency or a reaction in the body to sort of tense up, tense against that unpleasant sensation. You can stay with that for a few breaths. There's this perhaps tension or bracing. Noticing if there's a sense of wanting to get out or feeling annoyed or disappointed. Just sensing what's coming up, that cold water sensation. And then for the next few breaths, could you imagine where that water is touching your body? There's a little bit of a softening. You're inviting a softening, an opening. There's sort of a surrendering to the cold water. You're feeling yourself become a little bit more open or available to the experience, without needing to like or dislike the experience as it is, but just welcoming a sort of softening around it. As if you could become frictionless here. So any of that quality of sort of bracing against, kind of just allowing that to melt. So if there was a bracing in the muscles in the upper back, or an automatic response to sort of shrug the shoulders up against that sensation, just imagine you're relaxing the shoulders back open. Just sort of releasing. Releasing any grasping for it to need to be different. And notice if you can even invite that frictionless state of equanimity or ease, even amidst standing in the cold water. Continuing to notice your breath. Allowing yourself to come back to this moment, just releasing that visualization. And you're just sort of continuing to be in that state of letting everything be, just as it is. And then as you breathe, as you sit here now, notice if there's anything that you're bracing against in this moment. whether the temperature in the room, or thoughts. Perhaps there's a busy mind in this moment, or there might be pains or aches in the body. Just noticing if there's anywhere that you're sort of fighting against something. And in that same way, whatever it is in this moment, would you allow it just to be? Just to be here, sort of softening or opening to that experience. Not needing it to be any different than it is. So you're sort of melting around any sense of friction that might be currently in your experience. You might even, if it's helpful, imagine this visualization of ice melting into liquid. And liquid evaporating into gas. So that sense of rigidity or friction is just sort of melting away, evaporating. Equanimity is not to fight anything, but to open up to the experience. It's an acceptance of what's happening now, a softening around it. Being the calm center. Welcoming yourself to be that calm center. And in that stillness, notice the state of frictionless presence. Not grasping or bracing against anything. Just allowing everything to be just as it is. And just for these last few moments, notice something that you may brace against or cling to in your day-to-day life, or somewhere where you struggle to let go of control that you could soften around. And just not picking anything supercharged, but just somewhere where you could sense that you could soften. Somewhere where you might be mildly clinging or bracing against life, trying to control. There's something that you could let go of or soften around a little bit. And just like that visual of the cold water, You might imagine yourself in that state of reactivity, or that place where you feel triggered, or like you're holding or bracing, just like the cold water. And notice if you could relax open around it. Or you might visualize yourself just in that place, pausing, relaxing open. You might have a challenging emotion that visits from time to time, whatever that is. You're just seeing yourself there in that moment, bracing against whatever it is. And once again, just feeling your body start to open and soften. And as you breathe, you're just welcoming that sense of frictionless ease, that equanimity, just sort of melt. Melting, softening, becoming that calm center. And letting your breath be the anchor here. Equanimity is not to fight anything, but to open up to the experience. Letting everything be. And you might just imagine yourself just sort of basking in that more global, equanimous state around life. You might imagine yourself the eye of the storm, or just sitting here in the stillness. All chaos might be moving around you. And you're just that eye of the storm, the center, the calm, the stillness. If there must be madness and time crunches and chaos in life at times, then let there be chaos. But find the strength and stillness to be the eye inside of that storm. Imagine things are happening around you, not to you. What would that be like? Experiencing yourself here and now as the calm center. Imagining your calm center like a grounding, calming force for all of those around you. You might be experiencing challenge in their life, or being sucked into melodramas of life. And your equanimous presence is just sort of soothing all of those, all of that movement around you as you continue to be that calm center. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Let's do one more deep breath in, letting it go. Fluttering the eyes open. And just taking a moment here. As the eyes open, once again, could you continue to allow your whole being to bask in whatever state that you've cultivated, whatever experience that you've cultivated in this practice. Allow that to linger. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So please just let me know. Let me know if you've ever done a meditation specific to the experience of equanimity. Let me know how the meditation made you feel, if there are any aha moments for you, anything like that, or just simply how you feel right now. So I just love to get a check-in from you. We are, if you're finding this video, we are in day 3. I have a 10-day meditation challenge on my website. So I'll leave a link below. If you're on my YouTube channel, you can find us there. And thank you again for your presence and your participation in this challenge. I love hearing from you guys. I love this community. And I can't wait to hear more about how this practice made you feel, or any questions that you have around the practice and cultivating the skills of equanimity. It's been one of the gifts of meditation for me in my life that I'm extremely grateful for. So it really does touch my life in really beautiful ways that I'm just really grateful for this practice. So I hope that can be the same for you. Just like with any skill, the more we practice, the more the practice starts to do us. So I hope you come back to this practice again and again if you find it helpful. So the light in me honors the light within you. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.